So I mean, it's basically been 10 years. Next year is the 10-year thing.
Yeah, it is.
What are we going to do?
So we're going to have to do something a little bit special.
Yeah, I mean, 10 years is a long time actually to be doing. We've been doing this for 10 years now. Rapperty-boo!
Rapperty-boo! Yeah, rock it up a little bit. Fly on the wall kind of thing. Not too serious.
What, of touring or the recording? Maybe the recording.
As a DVD.
Yeah, fly on the wall. Just the recording process.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be like feature-length film.
No.
Does it? You know, just something...
30 minutes, 40 minutes maybe.
Yeah, maximum, yeah. Otherwise people will get bored of looking at your ugly mug, lad.
Yeah, so... Yeah, okay, 10-year DVD. CD, that sounds really good.
Remaster some old tracks, well, re-record some old tracks.
What, re-record rather than just remaster? So just put... Actually, yeah, we could just do that, actually.
Well...
It's the time thing, that's it. It's where we've got enough time, but we could get in and literally re-record our favourite tracks.
Yeah. Yeah,
like,
from top to bottom.
Yeah.
I might go and put a little bit of whiskey in my tea. I'm that excited.
Yeah, so Coast, a 10-year distraction. Well. How you doing?
Good.
No more pedal tuners. I think I'll just do that one again. Cool.
Yeah, so having made the decision to record the album this year, the 10 album, we then thought, okay, now what? Because the band is very spread out. So I'm living in the west coast of Scotland, Chris is in the far south of England, and Paul's now in Denmark.
Bad.
Yeah.
I think it's also just after that bit you got your
Oh, it's all about that.
Got a woody bit in there. But we'll do that separately.
Ja, dat is een fijne ijsjak. Goed.
This chair go any higher?
Yeah.
Because the stand can't go any lower. Yeah, not sure.
Yeah, I remember the first gigs. They were so funny because we were playing in all these like real rubbish pubs in Southampton, you know. And we had no idea what kind of turnout we would have at some of these gigs, but we were basically forcing our music on people. So I am here in Edinburgh after a kind of a bumpy flight. But it's good to be back in Scotland again, and yeah. That's Finlay working on tunes. We are putting all the guide tracks together so that Finlay can record his bappity boom boom bass.
Slapping the bass.
Slap the bass.
All we need is... Did we do the scale bit? Did we record that?
No, not yet.
Okay. Use long E's then, and then put me into the do one. I'll do the chorus, and then I'll do that link. No, did we not record that?
Oh no, we did, didn't we?
Let's hear that.
Bring you there onto that
Exactly right, aye.
D.
Yeah.
I think it's a D.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice one, mate.
My musical journey started when I was just a wee itch in the pants, I suppose. I grew up in a family full of musicians. My mum was a musician, my dad was a musician. My mum was always getting us involved in playing different musical instruments. I played the cornet for a little while, played in a little pipe band playing the drums. And then I kind of didn't do much at all for quite a long time. There's no click.
Recording technology has enabled many different approaches. You know, we could ultimately just take the band in a room again and play all the songs together, and that brings a special something for sure if you do take that approach. But logistics and costs and real life, you might call it, has an influence. So nowadays the technology has made it possible to begin those projects maybe in one studio. Say in Paul's studio, he'll typically put down click tracks and core instruments and what we call a guide vocal, which is not the vocal that ends up being on the finished version, but just gives you a way to navigate the song. That's perfect.
Do you want to put the two in?
So chorus.
I think I'll probably just carry it on actually.
Okay,
just keep the rhythm going, I think. Good. Yeah, just because it's become predictable by then. So we would play and we would have this massive sound system that we would set up in these pubs, and whoever was in there, you know, whether you liked it or not, you were going to hear this thing. We were playing mostly our own songs as well. We had a few covers in there, but we were playing our own stuff. More and more people would come in just because, I think it was just because it was so flipping loud. Stop there at the end, so it kind of does 1, 2.
Ah, sorry.
That's right. Move it to
I know the fill. It sounds good, but the last fill could perhaps be a little bit more exciting.
yeah. This one here.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Something
Something a bit more flashy.
faster. Yeah.
So I think we're back into a full-on snare. Well, the
So all that quick moving stuff there is there. That's all there. And the first long notes are all there. So we're now just dealing with that bit in the middle, what works with it. So it ends up feeling right, I think, on a kind of sorry, fucking heck.
So that's perfect, because that will work with the drums going double time there with that.
So let's hear that bit in the middle then, or maybe just go for it and I'll put that down. You play me in from the longs if you want.
Just give you a little bit of run up. You won't hear the bass well. Here we go. 2, 1, 2, 3.
Okay, let's go with that feeling, I'll make it a little bit busier.
Okay. Two, 3.
I guess it was in the late 90s. Picked up drum kit, and me and Paul, my brother, started a band. And it was basically for charity. And we'd rehearsed for a whole year, and we did this really big gig, and it was great. And then again after that, I kind of went off, had a family, and didn't do a lot. And then Paul came to me one day with these songs that he'd written. Thought the songs were great. And you know, the whole thing about starting a band came up.
And we were gaining some traction around you know, within these pubs, just gaining like, you know, a small following. And before you know it, we just had loads of people that were coming to see us play. And you know, what's going to happen next, sort of thing. Try and record the harmonium for Ghosts Down the Boy. It's got a creepy sound, so I'm just going to use one microphone, I think. One microphone, one harmonium, one song. Let's see if this works. Yeah.
As far as the guitars go on this album, it basically comes down to two Fender machines. So when I started playing guitar, I was age 11, and I got to 13 before I ventured onto electric guitar, and that was a Fender Stratocaster copy. So not a Fender, in other words, a copy. And that, I think, kind of set a bit of a scene for me, really, just the feel of the neck and the body design and everything about it. I've always had Strats and Fenders and things, so more so than ever nowadays. Having this Telecaster here, this is the main guitar that I use. So Telecasters, Stratocasters, and that's pretty much it, and variations on these machines.
Yeah, Finlay, give me some of that top gear. Yeah.
What a fast car.
So this one does most of the work on the Coast gigs and also on this album. So it's an interesting Telecaster, actually, because usually the reason for buying a Telecaster would be as far as I was concerned, was the electrics. The pickup configuration, so essentially the sound the guitar produces, is very, very famous. It's done on 2 single coil pickups. So this guitar was a bit of a departure, I think, for Fender, in that they chose to use humbucker pickups, these things here, as the type of sound. So thankfully I was able to get a bit of a deal on this guitar where I could actually play it, gig it, tour it, before having to actually buy one. And the Fender seemed to have hit the sweet spot with it, where it's still sparkly, like a normal Telecaster, normal pickup setup in a Tele, but it's also, because of the humbuckers, it's very fat and warm and big, much bigger sound than the single coils give you. They're also very balanced, so it's a nice even volume from each string on the guitar. So yeah, it's become a bit of a favourite. It's a really nice machine. It's an American Telecaster, and it does most of the live work with Coast. So of course the sound of Coast, it's big. I mean, it's getting bigger really with the expansive soundscapes and the big sound. The guitar needs to be able to cut through and deliver, and that's so far the best guitar I've found for that is this Telecaster.
Oh man.
Yeah. So that's how you do that. Reamping the Hammond organ. So playing the Hammond organ back through my speakers and recording the audio onto the microphones, back onto the gear with the tape machine thingy.
And we started recording this song called the Work Song. And I remember setting up all these just little things I could hit in his lounge, you know. And we had this stool and I had the drumsticks, and you know, we're just getting a groove on in the lounge, and we recorded this song called The Work Song, which is now actually called The Caller.
I cherish those times just because they were a lot of fun, a lot of fun times. You know, the van breaking down and things like that. You know, the PA equipment. We had this really dodgy sound engineer in the beginning, in the really early days. He must have been about 90 years old, but he used to glue the speakers together and stuff before a gig, and then like halfway through the gig, that like the PA would be on fire and things like that, and the drummer would disappear. I remember we had this drummer called Mongo, and we were playing this gig, right, and his monitor that was what he uses to hear hear what he was playing and everything else. His monitor had basically started, you know, smoke and flames and stuff coming off it. And I turned around and I said, "Hey, Mongo." And he looked at me and he's like, "What?" And I said, "You're on fire." And he went, "Oh, thanks." And this is right in the middle of the gig, you know, and everything's pumping away and it's really loud and stuff. And I said, "No, look, you're on fire." And then and I remember Chris running from the back of his percussion rig. And said, "By this time you can't see anything, by the way. It's just a complete whiteout on the stage." And he's running around the back and unplugs Mongo's speaker, and we're still playing away. And we just can't believe it. I mean, we got a big applause after it, you know. But it was just mental. I mean, some of the people we had involved, and some of the things, you know. I think Coast has definitely been like the modern day Spinal Tap. Playing around with some DX7 sounds, maybe to put on this track.
So some of the other work falls to a Stratocaster, so that's just on single coils. It's very conventional Strat setup, probably the most famous electric guitar ever. So that takes care of the kind of thinner, more plucky kind of sounds when you need a real kind of attack, something that's quite piercing but thinner. Then I would tend to use the Stratocaster for that. But this Telecaster, I must say, is a piece of genius, really, by Fender for me. It's beautifully made, plays really well. It stays in tune. That's important. And yeah, it sounds great. And we play it through a Mesa Boogie amp. So a little Mesa Boogie, it's just a small thing. A little amplifier that lives its whole life on 10 watts. It's switchable to more power should you want it, but it lives on 10 watts and it's an all valve amp and it just sings. It's the most incredible amplifier I've ever actually played. Just an amazing thing.
You ready, Finn? Okay. Yeah, cool. That should be fine.
You can spend some time shaping things, experimenting with ideas when and as you have the time. you're able to do that. So basically we shape the songs and they basically build, so it's like forming something over many weeks and months, when and as the time and so on is available.
More level overall.
I think on the very last one, you do 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 do, and then you do that do 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 do. I reckon just go down 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 down.
Done. Yeah.
Done. Yep. Same again. Ooh. Sorry. So that's me and Finn done in the studio for the day. Ooh, bass.
And we ended up actually booking some studio time, and it's my first time in studio. It's pretty nerve-wracking, really.
People were saying, "Hey, great! This is really cool. When's the first gig? You know, where do you play?" And it never even entered my head that we would have to get a band together and go out and play this stuff live. I wasn't interested in playing live.
It took probably, we were working on this album for a good year. Paul was writing a lot of songs, a lot of good songs.
You know, I was a studio guy. I just wanted to make music in a studio. I never even saw myself as a singer, to be honest with you. It just kind of came about that way, really. Got a band together, made loads of auditions and met lots of colourful people. Mm-hmm.
I wasn't even playing the E,
Shall I do the lead sound?
yeah. So I think these melodies we'll just play on the anyway.
Sorry about that. I'll turn the click off when we get to...
Oh no, by the way, the second hit it loses a lot of pace down. I just hear that again.
Yeah, because it's
Maybe
slowing
just
down.
Seemed, I know, but it just seemed weird the way it seemed to fall. But it might be in the click, like it's like unnatural.
almost there. Do you want me to do it again?
Yeah.
Hi, my name is Henry Clement. I'm Paul Eastham's piano technician. So I think it sounds nice now. The rest is up to Paul.
It's another synth day today. I got this. It's amazing, actually. It's an old Technics, and it's really old. And I found it on eBay for about €25. And this is the very first keyboard I learnt to play on when I was a boy. So, I mean, I've added reverb and stuff to it, but I just love these old keyboards. Alright. Cool. So I'm going a bit further down now. Got my Roland D5, which I bought in a pub out here in Denmark. There was a British bar, British pub, and I just met this guy in there. We got talking about keyboards, and he said he had this Roland D5 for sale. So I just said, yeah, if it works, I'll buy it. And it works, and I love it. Bum, ba, bum, dum, 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 dum. Yeah, sorry. Well, that will satisfy my Vangelis need. Stupid. "10 years is a long time to be doing, to be doing this. Every single band is on the verge of breakup, whatever band you're in, and we've kept this going."
I actually started off with just a K-on drum and a set of bongos, a couple of shakers, just to get the feel of, you know, what a percussionist kind of does.
Sure. What is that? Ah, that's Telegraph Road by Dire Straits. Oh yeah. Well, just because of that, I'm gonna use it.
And now I find myself, you know, I can be playing 1, 2, 3 instruments at the same time, theoretically. So I generally use congas. I have various different shakers. Oops.
So beat the broken drum and play your sour groove. Your loneliness will walk that final mile with you. Yeah. Loneliness will walk that final mile with you. Nah, that was crap. It seems different. You see the demons stomping down your glory road. And in the glass where every river seems to flow, you caught the words from heaven as you shut them out. You are incredible. You are infallible. Oh, 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 oh.
Where we are now is that the songs are together, and various other people have come in and done their parts and their contributions. So getting Georgie back on vocals, the singer who was on the first album with us.
Oh, it's a long way home. It's a long way
bank up a few more. 2.
It's a long way home. That was awful.
It's like the Minnie Riperton version.
It's a long way home. It's a long way home.
Controllable. He goes like a flipping opera singer.
Oh, really?
But it's bad. It's not good.
Home.
Let's
I put that vibrato on, you know.
What's that?
I put it on. Like I know at the end it's like, oh.
Baby.
Oh, the baby's calling. Oh. Does it not work?
I think it would be if it was, you know.
Better.
Yeah.
Let me try again.
All right. Yep.
I'll do it like that.
Aye. Kind of more angelic. That could be
Yeah.
quite nice. That could be quite nice.
I had to take a breath.
That's right. We'll have a listen. What you doing? What you doing there? What you doing in my studio?
We're up to a point now where we're just about to start mixing, and then that's been woven tightly into the diary between tours.
The whole idea behind it really was not to release a whole album full of brand new music. Maybe to just re-record some of the earlier stuff, some of the stuff we love playing live actually. In our sense, this is an album just for us actually. I think we're being really selfish with this.
So we go into the mixing stage next, and then thereafter, you know, the mixing thing ultimately is just deciding how loud each instrument should be relative to one another, and also what kind of ambience the music should sit in.
We decided we'd do an album and we'll re-record some of the old material and try and put some different influences in the music that we previously had.
You know, at one time you might have recorded in a big open space. If you do record in a big place, you'll inevitably capture the ambience of that place. Nowadays, it's certainly in my own place. I run my studio is quite a dry, small, very controlled ambience, and then we'll simply add an artificial ambience to it.
We recorded them the way that we play them live as well. So when we set out to do this, we said, right, okay, it's not going to be an album full of accordions and bagpipes and whistles and all that nonsense. We basically just said, let's just do a rock album.
That was the plan, and we've worked really hard on it, and I think the tracks are sounding great. So roll on the 10th year with Coast.
So those types of things give you, again, a greater degree of control. That's all at the mixing stage. And then off to mastering, which is the assembling of the final CD, the final album that people will hear. And job done.
I've been able to draw from Coast, I think, it's just apart from the fact that it's given me a career in music, all of this studio and stuff and everything is because of that. And the thing that I've drawn from this the most, I think it's the people that I've met. I've met some very interesting people along this trip. Some of them who remained remain very loyal friends and great friends and almost part of the family. And the idea behind doing this DVD is it's just to show you how we've done it. Really, it is a very, very plain black and white documentary. There's no frills attached to this really. Everything was done in 2 studios, here in my studio here in Denmark, which is at my home, and back in Oban in Scotland, which is Finlay's private studio. And we've had it from being nosedived to being sailing to being but we've kept this going. That's because we love what we do, we believe what we do, and it's a big part of who we are.